guys need to stay in alphabetical order here, all right? I would be in big trouble. I'm good. You get the wrong diploma, let me know those. Thank you all for coming. This is so wonderful. Such a great crowd. Back 2 years ago, when we had to open our thank you. But we had to cancel everything and had to cancel the first graduation. I was going to so pretty excited. We're here. Great. First of all, please join me in acknowledging our spring 2023 GED graduates. I'm the Director of Adult Education here at SCC. On behalf of our adult education staff and faculty, I extend to you a sincere congratulations on your accomplishment. It is it. I'd also like to welcome our staff and faculty who spend countless hours with students to help them accomplish their educational goals. Any staff or faculty who are here this evening, could you please stand up and be recognized? I know you're out there. And all of us in adult education extend our deepest thanks and appreciation to all of you out there, your graduates' family and friends, for supporting them through this process. You share this accomplishment too. I worked hard. Thank you. With such support from teachers, family, etc., those who are around you, the credit for earning your high school diploma goes to you, graduates. You had to make this decision, and you had to stick with it. There was no high school system to help you through, to guide your way, or to clear the obstacles for your path. There's nobody holding your hand in this process. So take credit for your success and know that this is a step on which you can build your own future. So this evening, we have three speakers. They're here to share their own wisdom with you, what they have taken as well. As you move on to your career, college, family, or whatever steps you take next. But I'd first like to introduce our impromptu speaker. Dr. Illich is president of Southeast Community College. He came to Southeast in 2014 and has since helped build the college into not only a beautiful campus, which we'll have a tour of if you want later on, but also a welcoming destination for all students. So please help me welcome.
On behalf of Southeast Community College, I really want to congratulate you on your achievement that we're celebrating this evening. And actually, I'm not really going to focus on words of wisdom. I'm going to do something that I really enjoy. And I'm going to try to recruit you to go to SCC. It's one of my favorite things to do. How many of you are already thinking that's your next step? Okay, after my 2 minutes, I'm expecting to see like a 200% increase in the hands. So one of the things that I can tell you that we were focused on at Southeast Community College is transformation, transforming every aspect of the college. You'll see it in the facilities, and I would invite you, after, if you have time, after the ceremony, I think our meeting's open to at least 9, take a quick tour of the facilities. We're transforming our processes, we're transforming our facilities, our programs, we're adding new programs. One of the things when I think about graduation ceremonies and your ceremony tonight is you're transforming. You absolutely make the decision to transform yourself through education, and I applaud you for that and encourage you to consider, like I said, going to SCC and continuing that. One of the things that when I think about Southeast Community College, there's so many options, so many choices here. You can go here and get a technical degree, you can then go on with a 4-year degree, but you can do 2 years here. But probably the most important part about the community college, and you're very much a part of that, is open access. And that sounds easy to be open access, but it's not easy. It's actually very difficult. If we don't have these kinds of programs that we're celebrating today, we're not open access. If we're not affordable, we're not open access. So it is very challenging, but I think that's what I would encourage you to think about. We are here for you, no matter where you're at in your journey. We are definitely here for you. So I really want to encourage you to think about continuing that journey. It doesn't have to be now; it could be in the future, but certainly to be open access. We're not about first choice, second choice. We're always available, irrespective of when you decide to make that decision. And then I do want to leave you with something real quick. I called my sister and asked her if it was okay that I shared this story. My sister, Sherry, is my older sister, just a little bit. She's about 4 years older than me. And she received her GED when she was 49. Things didn't kind of go exactly the way she planned for them to go. And she used to always tease me, that she was going to make more money than me, irrespective of the fact that she kind of dropped out of school. And she's doing very, very well. She was able to get into more permanent positions, and she's one of the top recruitment agents in Houston for ExxonMobil. And that GED degree allowed her to really get into things that she wasn't otherwise able to do. So the doors that opened for her have just been tremendous. And so she is a lot of fun and very, very bright and very, very persistent. So it was something I thought about sharing that with you all. But anyway, I could probably pass my 2 minutes. So now how many are going to go to SCC? I think I saw an extra hand. So thank you all, and thank you for choosing SCC, and congratulations on your wonderful achievement tonight.
Thank you, Dr. I'll go a little lower. Thank you. All right, we have 2 more speakers tonight. Next we have Donna Lindstrom. I believe she just graduated with her GED last spring. It was last fall, so it was fall of 2022. So she was our last graduation. She has gotten her GED, and now she has started her respiratory therapy program here at Southeast Community College. She has finished her first semester with huge success, so good job. That's always a good job, right? That was secondary learning, so that is really wonderful. In addition to that, she's raising 6 kids, going to school full-time, working full-time, and buying her first house. So, way to live. Good job. Good job.
First, I would like to welcome you to the class of 2023 high school graduates as well as their families and supporters. My name is Donna Lindstrom, and I also am a graduate of SCC High School Education. It's a special honor to be asked and chosen to speak with all of you today, even more so because today my sister is graduating, and it is also her birthday. And she has walked down the aisle. She has walked down the aisle and sits amongst you. You should all be very proud of all the achievements that you have made to get where you are today. I know from experience it was not easy, and it was a very hard hurdle to overcome. About 7 months ago, I sat where you are, filled with excitement, joy, and ready to take on the world. I was going to grab it and make it my own, and with my own dreams, whatever they may have been or however hard they were. I was ready, and I was going to make them come true. And just yesterday, I found out that I had passed my first semester of college. imagine saying those words out loud. I went from walking into a local GED Learning Center in Lockhart, Nebraska in September to getting my high school diploma in October, to registering for classes to being in college come January. In my life, it seems so surreal that I would have ever made it this far. I'm sure some of you have had the same thoughts bounce around in your head. But here you are, with your hat, your tassel, and about to be announced high school graduates. 20 years after dropping out of high school, I set a goal for myself. It took effort, it took determination, and long nights and hours of walking these halls for the past 5 months. Minus a week or two for a car accident and some flu. But in just 11 days, I will be starting my second semester in college for a degree I feel so excited to be a part of. A little backstory of why it took me 20 years, which seems like forever, to get myself together and finally get my diploma. Well, really, I have to thank my daughter Dominique, who also dropped out of high school, who talked me into it because she wanted to get her diploma. So I decided, fine, I'll go again for the third time. But this time, it was her voice that I kept hearing every step of the way. Just go get your diploma, Mom. When it came to the test, I passed everything but math. I just couldn't get the math down. But I didn't give up, and the program director could see now, determined. I was truly how determined I truly was, and allowed me an extra 12 hours of study, and I was able to retest. I knew on my last test try, this was it, where I would wait weeks to retest. So I buckled down and I studied harder than I ever had. And finally, I passed a grade. I was finally a high school graduate. After a long 20 years of my life, my dreams were ready to begin. Growing up, the odds were against me. I was born in a town in South Philadelphia. Then we moved to a town right outside of Philly. It, and still is, a town saturated with drugs, from heroin to fentanyl, crack to meth. Most of these kids I went to school with are no longer here on this earth. Because of the drug epidemic, I cannot say that the drugs did not impact my life, but over 19 years ago, I chose to change my life and get clean. Except that did not make everything better. I was a single mother at the age of 16 with 2 children, living on my own, and would soon find myself homeless. Bouncing from house to house, working, waitressing, just to get a hotel for a night or 2. My mother would end up taking in my son for the time being, but that left myself and my daughter with nowhere to go. During this time, I made a choice to return to a toxic, abusive relationship with a man that I would eventually marry and have my twin boys with. During their relationship, there were 11 police reports and 6 times of him going to jail. I felt stuck, there was nowhere to go. Fast forward about 10, 11 years, we found out due to one of his violent outbursts, he had caused the cyst to grow between my brain and through my skull. Since then, I have had 4 brain surgeries. They said I would not be able to work and that I'd quickly lose my memory. While I do have some memory loss, as well as some learning issues, after 4 brain surgeries, I believe I beat 9% of the odds stacked against me. I since have divorced that man, and I have met a man who is incredible. My husband of 7 years. He's turned around with him. In my head, things were going great, and I, for the second time, tested for my GED. But as life does, it threw a curveball. We went through some hard patches, and about 6 months later, my mother informed us she had uterine cancer that had spread to her lymph nodes. About 2 months later, my husband and I spoke about possibly having a child of our own. So I did what most people would do and made an appointment to see where my body was at and if I was capable of carrying a child. I received a call that I needed to meet with another doctor. Something was not right. As it turned out, I had adenocarcinoma, and I needed a few surgeries that would take any chance of us having a baby away. We met with my oncologist, and within the next 3 months, I had 2 surgeries. but no cancer was left. After that, hold on, sorry. After that, COVID hit in 2020. My husband and I briefly spoke about me getting my diploma, but I didn't look into it enough. I suppose I did not hear enough at that time. But then it came up again here she was, my 20-year-old daughter. And like I said, now is my time. After speaking with my husband and other influencers in my life, they all agreed everything fell into place so perfectly. I was going to do it. I did do it. Nothing stopped me, though I could have let it go. I didn't this time. I did it. So did you all. I love that. You didn't give up. You let nothing stand in your way. Congrats to the class of 2023. I would like to end my speech with a quote from Maya Angelou. You may encounter many defeats, but you must not be defeated. In fact, it may be necessary to encounter the defeats so you can know who you are and what you can rise from, how you can still come out of it. That is all.
That was very nice. Now, more words of wisdom we have for you. Our final speaker is Brian Suck. Brian received, a little bit about him, he received a Master's in Public Administration from New York University. Prior to this, he served in Peace Corps Kazakhstan, where he taught English. Brian made his way to Nebraska, where he launched the College Hospital nonprofit program in Omaha and led the homeless student outreach program in Lincoln Public Schools. Brian has been very active in workforce development and in the Lincoln community, in both government and private industry. He now serves as Executive Director for Lincoln Literacy, where he and his team provide English and workplace skills for our newest neighbors, for which we are all very deeply thankful. Please join me in welcoming Brian.
Well, hello everyone. We only have about 4 more speakers and 2 hours to go. So I hope you feel comfortable, especially the graduates who are like getting out of this nylon, road. So my name is Brian, and I am the Executive Director of Lincoln Literacy. And we teach immigrants and refugees who come to Lincoln English. Last year, we taught students from 48 different countries. It's amazing. People from 48 different countries came to Lincoln. And one thing that people have in common is that everybody wants to learn. And that's what I'm here to talk to you about today. So there's a number that I want you to remember, and I think you will, at least for a little while, because I'm going to say it like 8 times. The number is 14,000. Wonderful time to be wearing a blue robe. You have so many different opportunities that you can go into. You can stay here at SCC and get a certificate, like a certified nursing assistant. You can get a 2-year program, like a radiological tech, surgical tech, welding. All of these jobs are open. We're going to talk a little bit about what those are and how you can connect to them. So, you have completed your TET, which is wonderful. And there's one more catch. You will keep learning. So, there's 2 ways to do that. One is thinking about certification. Maybe that's a diploma from SCC and then going on to UNL or DOME or wherever you'd like to go. The other is thinking about an employer. For example, places like Ryan Health, Kawasaki, Tabitha, all have tuition reimbursement. Many of you know what that is. But tuition reimbursement is a fancy word for you take the class, you pay for it up front, and your employer pays you back when you graduate. So when you're thinking about where you want to go for your career, you have options. Employers talk to me every day about hiring our students. They want to hire you. This is an awesome time to be graduating. You can utilize the SCC Career Center here. There's also what's called the American Job Center, which is downtown at 13th and M, across the street from Ben and Martin Library. And they have free help to look for jobs. They can help you sharpen up your resume. They can help you apply for jobs. There's also another thing called NEWorks. NEWorks is the state website for careers. What you can do is you can sign up on that, it's free, and it'll send you emails every time that there's jobs that you say that you're interested in. For example, if you wanted to be a nurse, you put it into NEWorks, and you can apply with one click going forward, or any other position. So NEWorks and 14,000 are the two things that I want you to remember. So by getting a certification in an in-demand field such as healthcare, welding, machining, criminal justice, early childhood education, or many more that are offered here, you're setting yourself up for not just a job, but a career, which is why you're here today. So the idea is, what is your dream job, and then work backwards from there. If you're thinking about welding, firefighter, nurse, whatever it is, you can think about what you want to do and work your way. And nobody does it alone. Thank you to the mothers, fathers, husbands, wives, partners, girlfriends, and boyfriends, brothers and sisters that helped our graduates today. In fact, graduates, can you turn around and please thank all of the people who helped you get here today. So turn around and give them a round of applause. It's always the best part to have people make that eye contact. It's really cool. So thank you to everyone out in the crowd today who helped your graduate get to be here. Everyone overcomes obstacles. Everyone has their thing that they have overcome, and many times things. So I'm so proud of you that you're here today. So, 3 quick things, and then I'll stop talking. There's 3 things I've learned so far in my 42 years. The first is, be kind. When you're out in the workforce, be kind. There's no downside. Lincoln is a small town if you decide to stay here. Maybe you'll start your job at one place and go to another place. Never burn a bridge. Always be kind, it will pay off. The next person, the next job, the next boss will know you by reputation. Always be kind. Build up the people that you work with. If you become a supervisor, your job is to help your people grow. How can you help them become successful just like you are? Respect is the cornerstone to growing your network and growing your career. It's amazing what happens to relationships when people know that you respect them. Second, understand the pathway. If you're thinking about what you want to do, what does it take to get there? And like we talked about, you have wonderful help through the SCC Career Center or the American Job Center that can help you light up the path to where you want to go. Never feel that you don't know the people who can help you. It's okay to ask questions. One thing that I did when I started my career is just have informational interviews. That's a fancy way of saying you can call the people that you want to be and say, hey, I want to do what you do. Will you talk to me? Professional people are just like teenagers. They like nothing more than to talk about themselves. If you ask a doctor about their experience being a doctor, you better be prepared for a 3-hour conversation in which you don't talk, you listen. Same thing with cops, same thing with firefighters. I'm the son of a cop. My dad can talk about being a cop for hours. So if you're not sure, you think you want to do something, but you're not quite sure, call that person. Make an appointment, come on by their office, come on by their station, talk to them. It's amazing. And there what you've done is you've built your network. You now know somebody in that field. And really develop a mentor. Find a friend within whatever organization that you start with, a person that you can go to questions with. It doesn't have to be your supervisor. It can be someone else within the hospital, someone else within the company who can help. It doesn't have to be your boss. Okay, last thing, I promise. So it's be kind, know the pathway, And here's the last thing. Your job doesn't have to be 100% of who you are. I work in a nonprofit space. Many people get burned out. Basically, it means they care too much about the people they serve. Have other things in your life besides your job. It's easy to go all in on your job and have it be everything you do. Many of you have families, many of you have hobbies, many of you have things that you do. Keep those things as you get into your career, and I promise it will keep you sane. Whether it's buying a house, which is a job in and of itself, whether it's raising your family, whether it's running marathons, I don't care. Find something else besides your job. The recipe for disappointment in your career, in my experience, supervising a lot of people, is to think that your job is everything. It's your paycheck, it's your friends, it's your passion. It doesn't have to be all that. You can volunteer, you can do other things in your life to fill that up. Okay, final thing, I swear. If you get your 401k, if you get a business, take your 401k. I talk to tons and tons of people who are down the road in their career and they didn't do the 401k. If you have a job that gives you that, take it. It's 3.5% out of your paycheck. At Lincoln Literacy, it's not an option, you have to do it. So get that 401k. So my message to you is, how many jobs are open in Lincoln? 14,000. You have so many choices. What are the 2 places that you can go to get help? Any words? What's the other one? American Job Center and the SCC Career Center. Tons of resources for help. Then, be kind, build your network, know the pathway. You do those 3 things, I have no doubt that you'll be successful. So congratulations on your graduation. Everyone here is so proud of you. And it's just amazing to look out and see all this support right here. So one more round of applause for today's graduate. Congratulations.
Thank you, Brian. Words of wisdom, very good. From NPS, the workforce cooler. Thank you very much. Before we move on to what we're here for, which is the graduation, I do want to recognize a couple of people who were here with us today. Our SCC board member, Brandon Gunther, thank you for coming. Thank you for sharing our graduation. And also, this person will probably be a little, that's okay. I want to thank Lynn Safford for her many years of contribution to adult education. She's retiring at the end of the month, and we are going to miss her dearly. I don't know what we're going to do, but we'll muddle through it. Thank you, Lynn, so much. Okay, now, we're trying to get a few directions before we get going. This is what we come for, our certificates. So as your name is read, she has them. As your name is read, I want you to come up to the stage. I would also like to introduce Caroline Bitter, our Dean of Arts and Sciences, to come on up and help me out with handing out our certificates. So as your name is read, come up this side, go down that side. Take your time, don't rush, this is your moment. I'm just going to take your picture. We want to make sure we get pictures of everyone, so don't rush. We'll do the first row, so you guys go ahead and stand.
Dre Vargas. Sabra Boyd. Maria Corona. Kaylin Darris. Ariana Featherkind. Cameron Gage. Jennifer Gates. Aiden Kelly. Bernadette Linscomb. Mindy Makosu. Nicole McDaniel. Ashley Perry. Thomas Patton. Jamaica Perkins. Joanne Permenter. Devin Rodriguez. Rose Stokowski. Ryan Walker. Mackenzie Ward. Ashley Wolfing.
Thank you, everyone. That was very all right. As you came through, you also received a challenge point that we gave you along with your diploma. you're awarded this challenge coin. The giving of the challenge coin is historically a military tradition and the start of a new tradition here for us in SCC Adult Education. You met the challenge of earning your GED credential and ultimately your Nebraska High School diploma. And you will continue to experience new challenges. You have proven that you have the knowledge, skills, and attitude to do so. When you started the program, you told us about your desire to continue your education, to obtain better employment, and to help your children with their education. But most importantly, you did this for your own personal reasons. Whatever your goals are, you now have taken an important step in your personal and professional journey. Take advantage of your achievements. Okay, so now, please rise. There's one last task for you. You may now move your passes from the right side to the left side. You are now Nebraska High School graduates with all the rights and privileges that come with it. Thank you so much for coming. And now, you can eat cake. Enjoy.